first reading is about the loss of a dog. The eager dog lies strange and still, who roamed the woods with me. Then while I stood or climbed a hill or sat under a tree, awaiting what more time might say, he thrashed in undergrowth. Pursuing what he scared away made ruckus for us both. He's dead. I go more quiet now. Stillness added to me by time, sorrow, mortal law, by loss of company, that his new absence has made new. Though it must come by doom, this quiet comes by kindness too, and brings me nearer home. For as I walk the wooded land, the morning of God's mercy, beyond the work of mortal hand, seen by more than I see, the quiet deer look up and wait, held still in quick of grace. And I wait, stop, footstep, and thought. We stand here, face to face. Second reading is about fowl. Dream ended. I went out, awake to new snow fallen in the dark, stainless on road and field, no track yet printed on my day of work. I heard the wild ones muttering, a scent their dark arrival made at dawn, gray dawn on dawn gray wing, outstretched, shadowless in that shade. Down from high distances arrived within the shelter of the hill. The river shuddered as they cleaved its surface, floated, and were still. Third selection. The old man climbs a tree. He had a tall cedar he wanted to cut for posts, but it leaned backward toward the fence, and there's no gain in tearing down one fence to build another. To preserve the fence already built, he needed to fasten a rope high up in the cedar and draw it tight to the trunk of another tree, so that as he sawed the cedar free of its stance, it would sway away from the fence as it fell. To bring a ladder would require too long a carry up through the woods. Besides, you can't climb a cedar tree by means of a ladder, too branchy. He would need first to cut off all the branches, and for that, he would need a ladder. And so he thought he would need to climb the tree itself. He'd climbed trees many times in play when he was a boy, and many times since when he'd had a reason. He'd loved always his reasons for climbing trees. But he'd come now to the age of remembering. And he remembered his boyhood fall from an apple tree. And being brought in to his mother, his wits dispersed, not knowing where he was, though where he was this world still. If that should happen now, he thought, the world he waked up in would not be this one. The other world is nearer to him now. But trailing his rope untied as yet to anything but himself, he climbed up once again and stood where only birds and the wind had been before, and knew it was another world, after all, that he had climbed up into. There are no worlds but other worlds. The world of the field mouse, the world of the hawk, the world of the beetle, the world of the oak, the world of the unborn, the dead, and all the heavenly host. And he is alive in those worlds while living in his own. Known or unknown, every world exists because the others do. The treetops are another world, smelling of bark, a stratum of freer air and larger views, in which he saw the world he'd lived in all day until now, its intimate geography changed by his absence and by the height he saw it from. The sky was a little larger, and all around the aerial topography of treetops, green and gray, the ground almost invisible beneath. He perched there, ungravitied as a bird, nodding his rope and looking about, whirled in worlds on worlds, pleased and unafraid. There are no worlds but other worlds, and all the other worlds are here, reached or almost reachable by the same outstretching hand as he, perched upon his high branch, almost imagined flight. And yet when he descended into this other world, he climbed down all the way. He did not swing out from a lower limb and drop, as once he would have done. And lastly, Art Rowanberry. "That's been an oak tree a long time," said Arthur Rowanberry. How long a time, we did not know. The oak meant, as Art meant, that we were lost in time, in which the oak and we had come and would go. Nobody knows what to make of this. It was as if there in the Sabbath morning light, we both were buried or unborn while the oak lived, or it would fall while we stood. But Art, who had the benefit of not too much education, not too many days pressed between pages or framed in a schoolhouse window, is long fallen now, though he stands in my memory still as he stood in time, or stands in heaven, and a few of his memories remain a while as memories of mine. To be on horseback with him and free, lost in time, found in place, early Sunday morning, was plain delight. We had ridden over all his farm, along field edges, through the woods, in search of ripe, wild fruit, and found none, for all our pains, and yet we didn't find what we were looking for, said Arthur Rowanberry, pleased. But haven't we seen some fine country?